You know, some sacred places are born from peace and meditation, but others, they're forged in divine fury. Today, we're diving into the origin of the Bhimashankar Jyotirlinga, an absolutely epic story about a demon who thought he was invincible and the god who answered the desperate prayers to prove him wrong.
Every great story needs a seriously powerful villain, right? And ours got a boon that made him practically unstoppable. Lord Brahma gave him this incredible power, letting him just terrorize the world. But, and this is a huge but, look at that one little exception. Except Lord Shiva himself. That's not just a tiny loophole. That's destiny basically laying the groundwork for an incredible showdown.
All right, so let's set the stage. First up, a demon's reign of terror. Who exactly was this guy and what made him so terrible?
So, picture this. Near where Pune is today, in an area once called Dakini, lived a demon named Bhima. And get this, he was the son of Kumbhakarna. Yep, that Kumbhakarna, Ravana's brother from the Ramayana. He was just filled with this burning hatred over his father's death, and he channeled all of it into years of intense penance to get his hands on the ultimate power.
I mean, just look at this contrast. It's wild. On one side, you've got Bhima, supercharged by his boon, just steamrolling kingdoms and making it illegal to worship the gods. And on the other side, you've got sages and even other gods who are completely powerless against him. All they could do was pray, just hoping that someone, a savior, would hear their pleas.
So now for part 2, Shiva's fierce response. Because just as Bhima's cruelty was hitting its absolute peak, those prayers were finally heard. And this, my friends, is where things really heat up.
In answer to all those desperate pleas, Lord Shiva didn't just show up. He manifested in a form of pure power and fury. We're talking immense size, blazing eyes, matted hair, a truly terrifying but also magnificent sight. This form would become known as Bhimashankar, literally the one who was going to take down Bhima.
What happened next was, well, it was world-breaking. A ferocious battle just erupted between Shiva and the demon. People said the fight was so intense it literally shook the foundations of the mountains, the very earth itself.
Now Bhima, he's feeling pretty good about himself, right? He's got this boon. So he unleashes every single demonic power, every weapon he has. But here's the thing. Against the raw, primal force of Lord Shiva, it was completely useless. Nothing he did could even lay a scratch on the great god.
You can just feel the end coming. As all of the demon's attacks just bounce off him, Shiva raises his mighty trident, the Trishul, getting ready to deliver that final, decisive blow.
And with just one single, powerful strike, Shiva's trident found its mark. The blow was so incredibly forceful that Bhima was destroyed in an instant. His entire reign of terror was just over. Gone.
All right, Section 3. A legacy of sacred power. Because the story absolutely does not end with the demon's death. The aftermath of this incredible battle is what turned all that divine fury into a legacy of sacred power that we can still feel today.
Okay, so this is a really key concept. Right on the spot where Bhima fell, Lord Shiva manifested himself as a Swayambhu Jyotirlinga. Now what does that mean? It means it wasn't built by anyone. It just appeared. A self-manifested, raw form of divine energy. It was basically Shiva's promise to stay in that spot forever, to protect everyone.
And if that wasn't amazing enough, get this. The fight was so physically intense that sweat poured from Shiva's body. And this divine sweat, it flowed down the mountainside, gathering and forming the Bhima River, a holy river born directly from a god's effort in the fight against evil. How incredible is that?
So, this whole event is what established Bhimashankar as the 6th of the 12 most sacred abodes of Shiva, what we know as the Jyotirlingas. And according to the scriptures, these are the spots on earth where Shiva is permanently present to grant wishes and, wipe away the sins of his followers.
So for our final section, let's look at the temple's enduring blessings. How does this ancient legend really connect to us, right here, right now? Let's explore the temple that stands on that sacred ground and the power it's believed to hold.
The temple you see today is just a marvel. It's built from black stone and it's nestled in the serene nature of a wildlife sanctuary. But what's really fascinating is the lingam itself. It's small and it's always kept wet. A beautiful, symbolic little nod to the river that was born from Shiva's sweat.
And the spiritual power of this place has been recognized for centuries. You can trace its energy right from that mythical battle,
through the 8th century when the great sage Adi Shankaracharya visited and set up worship rituals, all the way to today, where it's still a massively important pilgrimage site for thousands of people.
So, why does this all matter to people today? Well, worshipping at Bhimashankar is believed to give you some pretty powerful blessings. We're talking about destroying enemies, gaining courage and strength, and getting divine protection for your family. It's like you're tapping directly into that same fierce, protective power Shiva showed all those centuries ago.
And that really leaves us with a final, fascinating thought. The legend of Bhimashankar isn't just a story about slaying a demon. It's about how righteous, divine fury can be transformed into a permanent source of sacred protection. It just makes you wonder, if a place can be born from that kind of intensity, what kind of power does it truly hold for those of us who go looking for its shelter today?